we are. Sorry to be a little late today. Whew. You know, it's the week of Christmas and everything is all like, ah. There's so much going on. So, let me see if I can make that a little better. Oh, I think that's better. Okay. So, happy Christmas week, everyone. And happy, I guess you can say happy Mercury Retrograde, because that's going to be tomorrow, or today, actually. I think retrograde is today. Today's the 19th. So, hi, sweetie. Hi. Thank you for sharing. Hi. So, there is a lot going on right now for us in the solar system and in our lives, right? So this may very well be the last, this will be the last Monday, and the last Thursday. We won't have meditation this Thursday because it's my husband's birthday, and one of the perks of being in Central Florida is we're going to Epcot. So, so we're going to be there. So there will not be meditation on Thursday. And we have Mercury Retrograde, which started today. And then we have the Solstice, which is going to be in another 48 hours. My husband's birthday, not a galactic event. I mean, I think it's great, but not a galactic event. But then we have Christmas. And we're already right now into Hanukkah, about the light. And we're going to have the new year. And one of the things that I love about the coming together of Hanukkah and Solstice, because they don't always align, and this year Solstice and Hanukkah will overlap. Hanukkah will also overlap with Christmas this year, because Hanukkah, the Jewish calendar, is a lunar calendar, and we use the solar calendar. The Jewish holidays kind of move around and they get later and later and later and later, and then they snap back into an earlier time. So like next year we'll be looking at Hanukkah being back around the time of Thanksgiving and things like that, or early in the month as well. So what I think is so incredible about this alignment, so the first night of Hanukkah was last night, and so we have Solstice will be today's the second night, third night, on the fourth night. So smack in the middle of Hanukkah, we're going to have Solstice. The Solstice is the darkest night, the longest night, the shortest day, and then we immediately cross that threshold and we start to get longer days, which means we're getting brighter. The world is getting brighter, at least in the northern hemisphere, right? So with Hanukkah, we start with one candle, and I'm not going to explain the whole story of Hanukkah. You certainly can Google it. It is the miracle that the oil lasted, for 8 days, that it would have taken 8 days to get more oil. And there's a whole lot. Hanukkah's not a major holiday like Christmas is a major holiday. But the main message of Hanukkah isn't, from the Jewish standpoint, is not that the oil lasted for 8 days and it was a miracle. And I mean, it's a miracle. That's amazing. The story is of good triumphing over evil, and of the small army standing up against the big army to fight for their freedom, to fight for their religious freedom, to fight for what they believed was right, and to expel the intruders from their land. And what I love about the story of Hanukkah is it reminds me so much of The Little Engine That Could, that story from when you were a kid. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Because that's really the thing where we want to be, is I think I can. Because, the famous saying, if you think you can, and if you think you can't, you're right. So I love the message of Hanukkah, of the little guys saying, we're going to stand up for our rights, and we're going to fight for our freedom. That could be emotional, it could be financial, it could be, relational, whatever freedom you're fighting for. And the other message of Hanukkah that is so powerful to me, and has always been so incredibly powerful to me, is that the light gets brighter every single day. the light gets brighter for 8 days. So you have the shamash, which is the helper candle. And if you look at a menorah, a Chanukah, that is a candelabra that holds the 8 candles. 8 candles. And then you have one other candle that is, I have no coordination. And you have one other candle that is the helper candle, okay? And so each night you light one candle. So last night we had one candle and we had the helper candle. And tonight we're going to have the second, and you light a new helper candle because you don't blow them out, they just burn out. And then we'll have the next night and still a new helper candle. And all of these things, we just keep getting, the light gets brighter. It's the same with us. When we share our light, we're not diminished by sharing our light. We use the helper candle. Where was I? The helper candle. We use the, oh, it's on the wrong side. We use the helper candle to light the other lights, right? But the helper candle is not diminished by helping. But the light gets brighter because more people can take advantage of it, more people can participate in it, more people can be blessed and brightened and warmed by it. But the helper candle is fine. The helper candle is on his own little journey, and the helper candle is just, burning out, the same as everybody else. The helper candle usually burns out first, not because it did anything wrong, but because it was lit first, right? So the helper candle gets lit, we say blessings, and then we go and we light the other candles, right? So it's lit longest. But if you timed it, they probably all burn out around the same time. Candles have, X amount of bandwidth or burn width. So, but we lose nothing by sharing our light with others. We lose nothing by sharing our light with the world. We are the helper candle. We are the helper candle. We have to light all the other lights, right? That's our job, is to show up in the world and be the light. And so I love Solstice because it reminds us that there will always be light. Even when it's dark, there will always be light. And just like we talk about every single month about how the energy goes up to the full moon and then comes back down to the new moon, when we get to the top, we've reached the pinnacle of the darkness with Solstice. We cross over, and now we're coming back into the light. The days are going to get longer, and we're going to have, really, Solstice to me is not celebrating the darkness, it's welcoming back the light. Because as soon as we pass the solstice, we're immediately in that place of the light is growing, right? The light is growing. So here we are, where we have Hanukkah, and we have solstice, and we are starting today with Mercury retrograde. Now, if you've been paying attention at all, you know that there's this pre-window and post-window before and after a retrograde of about 2 weeks where we are feeling the effects. And, oh, look, we've got our first spammer today. So, Mary Mac, bye, band. See ya, bye. Okay. So, with the solstice, with Mercury retrograde, we have this pre-window and we have this post-window of the craziness of retrograde. And so we saw this time that that pre-window was coming through during the time of the full moon. So, many of us had a rough, rocky ride through this last full moon. It was really emotional for a lot of us and very tumultuous because we were combining this full moon with Mercury retrograde, right? It was also an eclipse, and it was, all of these things as the end of the eclipse season, right? So, Anne, hi. So we're going to do our collective messaging, and then we'll do a collective card reading, and then we'll do individual questions at the end. So hang in there with us. And thank you for being here. So with Mercury retrograde now coming along at the time of the solstice, coming in the time of the spreading of the light and the welcoming back of the light, the thing for us is to welcome the things that are coming up because they're being brought into the light for us to be able to share them and to be able to acknowledge them. And Mercury retrograde is all on. Oh, sorry, Instagram. Mercury retrograde is a lot about communications issues, right? Case in point, here we are. So it's a lot about communications issues. So we want to make sure that we are really taking the time to listen when somebody says something that we're like, we immediately get our dander up, right? And when we're in Mercury retrograde, these things that are coming up for us are designed to help us to grow, to expand our light, to make our light brighter, and to allow us to spread our light further. So as things are coming up for you with Mercury retrograde, just keep in mind, take a breath. What is this? Did what the person said and what I heard, are these things in alignment? Can I repeat this back to the person to say, okay, taking my breath. I think what I heard you say is, and it's amazing how many times that what you get back is, no, that's not what I meant. And you open the communication, you open the opportunity for that person to elaborate and to communicate and clarify. Because what I heard, because sometimes we hear with our guts, and our gut instinct is formed by past experiences. And when somebody says something that triggers that gut reflex, and we're just like, whoa, right? We're already like, I'm ready. That we're reacting to something that may have felt familiar to a previous situation, but may not actually have anything to do with this situation. And so it becomes really important for us to be able to say, breath, what I think I heard you say is this. If I'm understanding what you're saying, because we may not be understanding, and it's so easy for us to always just assume we're right? We just say, oh, well, you said it, so you must have meant it, and that's what I heard, and that's what it must mean. So we don't leave a space for the possibility that we might have misheard, we might have misunderstood a tone of voice, maybe they didn't choose their words, so great. And so we give others the opportunity to adjust, and so we can meet in the middle. They can adjust what they've said, we can adjust what we've heard, and we're not letting that gut reaction be like, F you, we're done, big fight. It doesn't have to be that way. So we are aware that we're in Mercury retrograde. We are aware that we are coming into the next new moon. We are aware that we are having the solstice, right? We are aware of, let me see, that. When is the new moon? I usually have it on my calendar, but there it is, 29th. Oh, it's going to be on my birthday. Yay. So we are aware that we are being heightened by these energies and the things that are rolling along. Oh, look, another band. Bye. Clear Decay band. Sorry, we don't do spammers here. If you're a spammer and you're going to just start sending people messages, we ban you. We don't even have it. It's zero tolerance. So if you're on, just go now, because we have zero tolerance for spammers. So, so we are aware that we are being heightened by the effects of Mercury retrograde, by the effects of the darkness. We are being heightened by the effects of solstice. And so we want to build in those places where we can take a breath and we can move through this more effectively, and we can move through this more smoothly and with less turmoil, because Mercury retrograde brings things up. It's the job of Mercury retrograde is to bring things up for us to heal them, to address them, to deal with them, to work on them, to shift them, to change them. Mercury retrograde brings Chris says she likes the big FU moments. Well, there is something to be said for cutting ties when relationships are done, right? That saying, people come into your life for a season, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. There is something to be said when things are done and the relationship is not salvageable, or it's not worth salvaging because there's abuse, or I have no tolerance for energy vampires or narcissists or anything like that, because having been through all that. And so if you are in that kind of a situation and then you feel like it is time for the FU moment, then you go, God bless. But we want that to not be a knee-jerk reaction. We want if there's an FU moment to be had, we want to make sure that we have thought it through and that we are not being manipulated or triggered by somebody else. Okay, our FU moment should be because we are dang good and ready to be like, F you, not you, love you. Sun just walked by. So the whole goal is to be in control of our emotions. And I don't mean buttoned up like we, don't ever show anything. I'm not talking about that. But what I am saying is we want to be functioning on our own 2 feet and not being, we're all going to be affected by the energy around us, the people around us, the moon, the solstice, the retrogrades. I mean, we are. But at the same time, let's not be ruled by it, right? Let's not be ruled and feel like we have no control, right? We do. We do. The universe is there to help us, but we're the ones walking the walk. Okay? So how we show up in the world makes a huge difference. And do we want to show up in the world as somebody who is holding firm to their candle and spreading the light where they're going? Or do we want to be more like the feather on the wind at the beginning of Forrest Gump, where it's like, or, the car guy, right? The car guy, right? And we're just like, woo, and we're just, being blown around where we have no control. And that is a choice. And so as we are in retrograde, and so we're going to have this for about a month. Mercury goes retrograde about 4 times a year, so it's nothing new, right? And here's the thing. When people get like, retrograde, I'm like, okay, it's coming. It's coming several times a year. We don't need to panic about it. But what we do want to do is make sure that we're prepared for it. And so when somebody says something that maybe feels a little triggery or makes that reaction and you feel that tightening in your gut, before you make that reaction, to be just like, okay, take my breath. Because what I think I heard you say, if I'm understanding you correctly, is this. Is that what you meant to say? And you give people the opportunity to clarify, and then we must be willing to, okay, we release that knot in the stomach. That's not what, there's not fight or flight. There's no danger here. We can talk. We can communicate, and we can come to a meeting in the middle. We come to a meeting in the middle. There's a willingness to come to a meeting in the middle. Whether you're working with another person, whether you're working, sometimes we got to have these conversations with our guides. The guide's like, oh, you need to do this. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I know you didn't just tell me to go do that, right? So now who do we think is going to win that discussion, right? The guide is going to win because they know so much more than we do. But we have that resistance, right? We can have that reluctance to lean in to whatever it is that's being shown to us. And so we take that breath and we say, okay, I'm good. We're going to, is that what you said? I mean, this is what I heard. Did you mean to say that? And we take it one step at a time. And so the thing that I want to remind you of, because we're coming, it's Christmas week, okay? And so you may be feeling heightened emotions because family is coming in and out of town. And you've got family commitments, and you've got to get all your work done before you go on, vacation. Maybe you're taking Friday off, or you've got, deadlines because it's going to be the end of the year, or whatever pressure that we put on ourselves or that we feel is put on us by work, by family. We've got, places we've got to be, family parties, all those kind of things. And my son is wearing, you got to come show. He's wearing this fabulous Santa shirt. Come show.
I only wear it like once a year, but I always forget.
Yeah, but it's the Santa. Look at his Santa shirt. Come over here so Instagram can see you. Look at this super cute Santa shirt. Plus, isn't he super handsome? Okay, have fun. So, so we, and I got distracted by the super cute boy.
I have that effect.
You do. We want to be able to move through life on our terms. We want to be able to work in concert with the universe. We want to be able to roll with the waves. I love going to the beach. I love the ocean. I love the waves. But, you can look at the waves and they can be very big and they feel like they're overwhelming coming in. And if you stand there, the wave is going to knock you over. Absolutely. But the energy of the wave is about this far off the bottom, off the sand, at the ground. So if you are in the waves and the wave is coming, if you literally jump like 3-4 inches, the momentum, the energy of the wave goes right underneath of you and the water breaks around you. We want to be able to get through this time and just take a little hop and let the energy go past us. Because there's a lot. right? We've got Mercury retrograde. We've got all these things that are pushing on us this week to get done before Christmas. And we've got family responsibilities. And some family is warm and welcoming and hugs and so excited to see you. Another family can maybe have a different response in our bodies. And so to allow yourself that patience. Oh, look, it's Skipper. We're going to ban you. Okay, bye, banned. Because we don't have spammers here. So it's up to us to manage our energy. And the whole point of working with the universe is to spend some time learning and building the tools to become an empowered empath, to build the skills so that you can breathe. Ask the question, is what I think is happening is really what's happening here? And then react appropriately according to whatever feels right for you, whether there's a dialogue to have or whether there's a walking away. Maybe there does need to be an FU moment. But the more we empower ourselves, because we get into Mercury retrograde, that's in the time of the solstice, it's in the time of the Christmas, and we've got all kinds of stuff going on. Boy, it can make us feel high-strung and under pressure and on edge. But we can choose. We have control over these things. Just breathe. Reassess. Communicate. And welcome is the last thing I want to talk about, is welcoming. Because whatever things are coming up in Mercury retrograde, remember, Mercury retrograde does not show up to fuck up your life. Mercury retrograde is here to help you evolve to a new level. So the things that are coming up to help you grow. Okay, so when you say, if it's not a conversation, but you're coming up and the thing keeps coming up and you're like, what is going on here? Asking that question, what is this here to show me? Why does this keep happening? What is going on here? Welcome in that shift. Because it's when we stop to say, what am I supposed to be learning from this? What is really going on here? That we are allowing spirit to come in and say, well, here's what we're trying to show you. Here's what we're trying to show you. And when we can move into that space, where the things that come up from retrograde, full moons, solstice, whatever, these things that come up, we're not thrown off kilter by it. We're like, oh, I'm supposed to kick that person to the curb. I'm supposed to, open up communication with that person. I'm supposed to stop doing whatever that is. Or I'm supposed to start doing whatever that is. Right? So we allow Mercury retrograde, and it's a Riley cat, we allow Mercury retrograde to help us evolve and continue to move to higher vibrations, because whole point of Mercury retrograde is to release what no longer serves us and help us to vibrate higher so that we are growing and evolving as we are moving forward, right? And so we take a breath. And if it's a person, did you say that what I think you said? Because what I think I heard you say is, and if it's a situation, to ask, what is this situation trying to show me? I can't tell you how many times felt like my back was against the wall, or I was, face up against a brick wall, like I've just gone as far as I can go and I just can't go any further. And I'm like, what is going on? Why am I stuck here? And just by asking the question, the universe says, oh, I'm so glad you asked, because now we can get to work and now we can fix some shit. Okay? So, all right. Facebook is talking to me about things like stars, that I'm supposed to turn on stars for our videos and ask you and tell you I have star goals. I'm not sure how I feel about that, so I haven't done it yet, but your feedback is valuable and welcome. Also, I have decided that I am going to probably in the new year, I don't think I'm going to try and push it in for now, but in the new year I am going to start being a presence on TikTok. And I know some of you have very strong feelings one way or the other about it, but I think my goal is to provide little snippets of things that can help. Like, how do you get through Mercury retrograde? How do you deal with these spammers that keep coming on our pages? And why I won't do a free question. Sneak peek, it's because, I'm usually picking up dog poop. It happens. So I want to create an opportunity for more people to be able to connect with us and to be part of our community of light. And I want to create the opportunity to help more people with little snippets of things that I find important. And so the way I'm thinking about it right now, because again, your opinions are very important to me, the way I'm thinking about it right now is if you've been hanging out with me for a while, you have probably noticed that when we start getting into the card reading, there's some kind of collective message that seems to be coming across. Even after we're done with the collective messages, there's some other collective message that seems to be coming across. And these are the kind of things I want to share. You know, today's collective message that came up in the group reading was this. Okay, beyond what was channeled, beyond what the cards were for the collective. But when we start getting into the individual card readings, very often there's same cards that come up over and over again. So it's just another opportunity to share, and it's something I thought we would try out. So you don't need to go there. If you are anti-TikTok, you don't need to go there because I'm still going to be here on Mondays. Nothing is changing. It's just going to be another little thing that we're going to do. Just a little thing. I think right now just on Mondays because I already just have Monday as my day to be out with all of you. So we're just going to kind of tuck it in there. So that's what I know. So let's grab some cards and talk and get some collective information. I'm going to feel like I want to work with Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle today. We've been using the Colette Baron Reed Wisdom of the Oracle for a while now, and so I think we're going to go back today for the Work Your Light Oracle from Rebecca Campbell. It's one of my favorite decks. And I think with the onset of the solstice in the next couple of days and the Hanukkah of welcoming in the light, working with our light seems like a good plan today. So I think that's where we're going to go today. So we're going to do a couple of cards for the collective, and then we will open it up to individual card requests. Now, if you are a spammer and you are intending to start sending messages to the people who are online saying, please send me a message, just know that we're going to ban you from the page immediately. So, you know, save yourself some energy and some copy pasting. You know, I know that can get, you know, very tiresome. See the numbers drop off. That really just cracks me up. So, you know, you can try again another day, but we'll just ban you on that day too. So, all right. We have zero tolerance for spammers. And my people, our people, the people who are watching, are smart enough to know that if somebody comes along and says, oh, beloved, send me a friend request for your true and accurate reading, or to break your spell, or I have an important message for you, that your answers should be no. And God bless Chris Judd, who has, you know, if I don't delete the comments quick enough, she has the most creative answers of anybody. So, so if you're a spammer and you're getting ready to send a message to all the people on the stream, just know that we're going to ban you from the page. It's really that simple. All right, so our first card for the collective is Transformation. Don't you love how the Oracle cards pay attention to our conversations? I just love it. So this card is Transformation, and it says, things are changing at a cellular level for deep healing. Well, now, is this not just what we were talking about? I honestly don't even think we need to elaborate on that. Now, I will say, because some of you ask me, these cards are not numbered. They don't, they're not having a numerical system along with that. So, so that is the first card, is Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Isn't that the truth? And then the second card is Deep Replenishment. Rest, retreat, and be held. And this is all about self-care, especially as we're coming into this holiday time, right? So we're talking about taking that breath, right? Asking the questions, you know, what is coming up? You know, am I understanding the situation correctly? But if you are coming into a time of family gatherings with the holidays and it gets to be too much for you, put on your coat, go outside, take a walk. It is okay to give yourself some space. It is 100% okay to give yourself some space, because sometimes, even if it's my house, I feel like I need to do that. So it is okay to give yourself some space during the holidays. Be gentle with yourself. So many of us are dealing with losses that it's the first holiday without somebody, or whether they passed from, you know, an illness or by suicide or by age. This is not easy to do the holidays when we're missing our loved ones. And even if we're not missing our loved ones, some of us are looking at loved ones saying, is this the last holiday that we may have with that person? Other people are having a first holiday with someone, and they may be feeling nervous about how it's going to go with a new baby, or maybe meeting the in-law family, or the holidays can be tough. Be kind to yourself first, and then, right? We light Where did I do it before? We light our helper candle first, and then we use that to light the other candles. We light our candle first, right? It's like putting your oxygen mask on yourself first before you go and help other people. We light our candle first. We take care of the helper candles so it has the ability to help all the other candles, right? We have to take care of ourselves first. No. And we don't have to apologize for it. If you need a minute, we don't have to apologize for it, right? The holidays, it's a lot of intense energy. We just breathe and we allow ourselves grace, and we allow others grace too, because we are not the only ones at that party that may be dealing with stuff, right? So we allow grace for others, which is where we circle back to where we started with having a breath and to say, I think I just heard you say, ba, ba, ba. Is that what you meant to say? Because misunderstandings can happen when we're half listening, maybe we're having a little eggnog, or emotions can be running high. So patience, right? Taking the breath. And the last one of our collective reading is Sisterhood of the Rose. I love this card. Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. I love this card because, you know, what this card is about strength. This card is about our strength. And it's not just priestess, it's male or female, but this card is a reminder for your strength, that you have so much more strength and capability inside of you than you even know, that you are being held and guided, lifted by the community of your coven, of your priestesses or your priests and your people in your group. Family, soul family, blood family, family we choose. We are all lifted when we work together, right? So we had the menorah and the helper candles. When we light all the candles, and the helper candle is still over here, right? Burning bright, and all the candles are burning bright, and nobody lost anything by sharing their light with each other. We are better together. And this is what the cards are telling us. So, oh, yay, Kathy made it. So, we have the transformation, knowing that we are changing. We are being called to evolve and to grow and to graduate to another level through Mercury Retrograde. Coming at the time of the solstice, coming at the time of Hanukkah, coming at the time of the light is coming back, right? We are coming out of the dark, coming into the light, and Mercury Retrograde brings things up for us to heal, to grow, to deal with, and to evolve. And then we have the second card, which is Deep Replenishment, reminds us to be kind and gentle to ourselves and to take those minutes when we need them to really self-care, prioritize self-care at the holidays, please. And then to know Sisterhood of the Rose, that we are not alone and that we are stronger together. We are stronger when we share our light and we illuminate each other, right? So, collective card reading. Yes? Yes? Okay. Good. All right. So now for today, we're going to start over on Instagram because Gina is so loyal to show up every Monday, and I'm always so grateful. So many people watch the Instagram video after the fact, but Gina shows up all the time, and we always do all the Facebook people first, and so we're going to start with Instagram today for a card because I know that when I say who wants a card, she's going to say. Oh, my beautiful friend Susan, happy Hanukkah, my darling. I can't wait to just hug your face. I wish I could. Happy Hanukkah, my dear friend. My favorite redhead right there. All right. I hope so too, Kathy. Hopefully positive changes in 2023. I believe that there will be. Which is not to say that there's not going to be, yin and yang. There's going to be good and bad. But I believe that there will be positive changes in 2023. And I think that has some things to do with us of where do we want to focus? Do you want to focus more on the good things or more on the things that are not so good? Because, where we put our energy grows, right? What we focus on grows. And I love Wayne Dyer's famous saying that he has that says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change, right? The things that become important to you will change, right? So, awesome. All right, so, ready? If you want a card, now is the time. If you're a spammer, no, you're going to be banned from the page immediately. We have a zero tolerance policy. All right, we're going to start with Gina over on Instagram. And then we're going to come back for the Facebook card. So Gina, my friend, we have Soul Family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So Gina, you have more support around you. You've just got to reach out and connect with people. And it feels like that this has been a message that we have discussed for you before, my friend, that about showing your true self to people and letting people in. So this is a reminder. It's not too late. Call in your soul tribe, girl. Call in your soul tribe and let people help and support you. Let others be part of your journey. Right? I know. I hear you. She says, I'm trying. I hear you. I hear you. Let me ask a question before we move on. I have a question. I don't know I think this is something you can do on Instagram where you can like have other people come in. And I think on Facebook we can also, you're welcome. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. That we can also create like a room where people can come in, not like Zoom, but I think Facebook has like a room. I don't know if that works on a public page. I know you can do that on your personal pages, but I just wondered if there's an interest for something like that. I would love to set up some more Zoom events that we could do where people could register either for free or for a small fee. I love that we did a fundraiser for the Dougie Center. I'd love to do more things like that. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about those kind of things. So, okay, Beth Ann, card for you. So this is Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle, Beth Ann. So you're doing it. Beth Ann, you're going in that right direction. You are sharing the light. You are being the light. You are being the one who is the helper candle for other people. You are following where you are being guided and you are moving yourself forward. Oh, here, look, a spammer. Read something. So bam from page. Bye. So, Beth Ann, you are being the light already. You are the one you have worked so hard to feel like you could trust spirit and to lean into spirit. I feel like that has been a journey for you to come more into alignment with what your soul is called to do and to, what your true purpose was to be here. And I feel like you have been shifting. It's like merging. Like with you, I have this image of merging. Like I've merged on the highway to another place, like to get into another lane, to not necessarily have a radical change in direction and sound like that, but to just shift how you approach things. And so you are being the pillar of light. You are being the one who is helping others and being a guide for other people. And that is super important. I'm sorry, Christian. I'm sorry. Chris is coming kind of hidden. Let me unhide it. Damn it, she had a comment for the spammers. So, all right, Beth Ann, I hope that helps you. When I feel into your energy, Beth Ann, I feel pride. I feel joy and excitement for you. So I hope that you know that you are on the right track. All right. Zach would like a card. And we can definitely do that. And let's see. Oops. Cards. Okay. So. Okay. All right. So for Zach, we have Starseed. What lights you up? So, and this isn't a question mark. Okay. This is an exclamation point. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but it's not a question mark. It's an exclamation point. So, Zach, this is about following what is lighting you up. And you also have been on this path. So this is really where the theme may be starting, right? Where we're coming in with that. So following what is really igniting your heart and your soul and allowing you to move forward and your highest and best good, because you're starting to see that. For the long time, I feel like you were not letting yourself see what was the highest and best because you felt like it wasn't going to meet the approval of others. And I feel like now you're being like, you know what? No one else's approval matters. My approval matters. And so to be able to continue to follow what lights you up. Because like I said, it says what lights you up, Starseed. It's not a question mark. It's not saying what lights you up. It's saying do what lights you up. And I feel like that's been the journey you have been on, and I know you've been working really hard to be on that journey. And so this is confirmation again that you are on the right track. So that's a great strong message for both you and Beth Ann today. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Beth Ann, you're welcome. I'm so glad. All right, so Kathy Colton Dunlap, her husband's birthday is Christmas Day, 8 months today that he's been gone. And we would like Zoom events. Okay, fantastic. Super helpful. Super helpful. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. So first of all, I'm very sorry for your loss. And I know that it is so difficult around the holidays. But you and I both know that he is with you and is, showing up in ways, how do I want to say this? He's showing up in all the ways that he can. I feel like I'm trying. Like immediately I'm stuck with words. Like I can't speak. There's so much more I want to say. I feel like I can't get the words out, Kathy. So I feel like he's trying to show up in like, okay, this isn't working. Let me show up in a different way. And so be open and be aware. Ask him what to look for. And you may find, you'll get like, oh, my eye is drawn to a dragonfly, or it could be a wasp. I mean, it doesn't have to be something, oh, pretty and sunshiny like a butterfly. Sometimes it's not a warm, fuzzy thing that shows up for us. Sometimes it's, not the nicest, cutest, fuzziest little animal. It could be a snake, or it could be, whatever. But that's not means anything bad. We grab our book of spirit animals and we figure out what it means, right? A snake means change. It doesn't mean something bad. And so this card that I have for you is answer the call. And I want to say to you that I pulled this while I was, talking to you about having my words be stuck. And so this is so much about what is your soul calling you to do? But it's not just your soul. It's his soul too, because you all were so connected. What is his soul trying to show you? What is your soul trying to show you? So there is this evidence that we're not alone, that they are with us. And so what I feel for you, Kathy, is he's trying to show up in so many different ways, because he's like trying anything to let you know that he's there, and to let your family know that he's there. And thank you for your feedback about Zoom events. I would love to we're going to look at that in the new year. And so I know this Christmas is going to be hard for you. Try and celebrate the memory, celebrate the love, rather than reliving the loss, if that is something you feel capable of. Right? We're not always capable. But the first year is hard. And the second year is often harder. Because we move through different cycles of grief, and if I can be of assistance, all you have to do is ask. Okay, so I'm wishing you a peaceful, calm, and joy-filled holiday. Now, okay. Chris Judd, and then we will have Kathy says she opened the grill and found a snake. Tons of dragonflies, but she found a snake. Well, there you go. So, changing the wind for you, my friend, changing the wind. All right, so Chris. So Chris is also Pillar of Light. So this comes up also with you going in the right direction. You're doing what you're called to do. You're doing where you're supposed to. You're going where you're supposed to go, and you are taking others with you along the way, which is the thing that is the most wonderful. It is so wonderful when we can follow and go in the direction that is where our soul is called. But when we can help and take others along the way, it is so much more meaningful and so much more powerful. And so I just am so filled with joy for you, because also I know how hard you have worked to make those shifts, those kinds of shifts this year. But the card that comes for you is that Pillar of Light. And I'm sitting here shuffling right now, okay? So this is the card, is that Pillar of Light. You are absolutely going in the right direction, and you are shining your light to the world. And it's just going to get brighter. It's just going to get brighter, because you are building a community of light yourself. It's not just my community, our community. You are building your own community of light. And that is so important, because it is so impactful what is going on with you. And I do feel like it's like these little tendrils of things going out from you, like in different directions, like runners. When you put grass seed, grass down, it sends out runners, and then it connects in, and then it just grows. And it takes a little while to put down the runners, and then it all just goes, right? And it grows. And I feel like that's where you are. So keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Beth. All right. Beth Boyd. Beth Boyd. Happy holidays, my friend. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. All right. Transformation. Interesting. I mean, I'm literally shuffling the cards and the same cards are coming up. So this is really important. So Beth, this is the time. Allow this Mercury retrograde to work its magic for you and really lean into what is being brought up. Remember, you don't have to fix everything today. Retrograde is, a month to, 4 to 6 weeks long. It comes up 4 times a year. It's coming. You don't have to fix it all. But allow yourself to start to be aware of what's coming up. What hiccups are happening? What arguments are you having over and over again? Where are you, when you bite your tongue or your gums or something and all of a sudden then you keep biting the same place over and over again? Look for don't bite anything, but look for that feeling of what is the same thing that's coming up over and over again? What is it that you're trying to show me? What am I missing? What is it that you're trying to bring up during this retrograde? Now, keeping in mind, retrograde is just starting today officially. So, if it's not you don't have the answer today, don't stress about it. And don't feel like you have to fix everything right now. Because the thing to do with this Mercury retrograde is to let things come into the light so that then you can ask the question, okay, I see this. What do you want me to know about it? What is it you're trying to get me to understand about it? That's where you're going to be able to evolve and move forward and raise your vibration. Okay? So Beth Boyd, keep going, my friend. Keep going. All right. Susan Halpern, my dear friend, a jumper card for you. A jumper card, because as I'm sitting here shuffling, it just pops right out. Star Mother. The card is Star Mother. And the card says, how can you mother yourself? Now, you are welcome, Beth. In full disclosure, Susan is one of my bestest and dearest friends of my whole entire life. And I know full well, but this card literally jumped. So when you're shuffling the cards and one just flies out of the deck, that's a jumper card. And we take jumper cards very seriously. And so this card says, how can you mother yourself? And so my dearest friend, the comment and the guidance for you is self-care. Self-care. And come visit me in Florida. That's not what the card says, but it just, But self-care. Okay? Especially as we move through this time of holidays. Take some time for you. Take a walk. Take a bath. Read a book. Read something that's not connected to your job. Get a massage. Something that is self-care. Something that is out of the ordinary for you. Something you wouldn't normally do. That's where I'm feeling it. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Ann Williams. You are welcome, you are welcome, you are welcome. Ann Williams. So, is there a future together for you and a person named Mike? Well, let's see. So, I would like permission, Ann, to reframe the question. Okay? When you ask a question that says, is there a future together? Yeah, sure, there's a future. Is it a good one or is it a crappy one? I mean, do you want the future together if it's a shitty relationship? So the answer to the question is there a future? Yeah, there's a future if you choose it. But where I would reframe your question is, what do I need to know about this relationship to help it be successful and full of love and warmth and compassion and respect? That's the question that we ask, because if you want there to be a future with Mike, there certainly could be. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good one. So with your permission, I would like to reframe the question. What does Anne most need to know to create a loving and respectful and safe, compassionate, balanced relationship with Mike? That's the question. Council of Light. So Anne, it says, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. So with this card, the Council of Light, it's like the village elders. The Council of Light is your guides, our guides. All of us, we have this higher guidance. And so where I want say to you about this relationship is there a future for you? Sure, there certainly could be a future. Is it a good one? What I'm getting from all of this is for you to lean more into what your guts are telling you, because it feels like you're trying to put like square peg round hole and make it fit. And so the part I want you to understand with Council of Light is to trust your higher guidance, trust those inner knowings that are telling you yes or no, that are telling you, is this a sign of, is this a warning bell, a red flag or not? Because it's so easy for us to look at those things and be like, oh, no, it's okay. It's just like one little thing. But those little things add up. And so this is reminding you to trust your instincts, to trust your higher guidance, and to allow those niggles that we get to really be heard, especially in this time of Mercury retrograde. So the easy answer is there a future? Yeah, sure. Is it a good one? I can't answer that because it feels like there's things that you are sweeping under the rug. And if that's the case, then the future is probably bumpy. Okay? So where I'm encouraged to, where I want to encourage you is to trust your instincts and to listen to that higher guidance that you may be getting about this relationship. And I feel that many times people stay in a relationship because it's what they know, better the devil you know, or they're afraid to be alone. And I want to say that it's better to stand on our own feet, and this is for everybody. It's better to stand on our feet than to cut our legs out from underneath of us to accommodate someone else, right? Spirit always has a plan. And that even if we're not in a paired relationship, there is fulfillment and companionship and things that are available to us. Even if we're not in a paired relationship, it doesn't mean that we're living our life alone or in a hole, in a cave. So the thing that we are looking for and striving to create is strong, balanced, compassionate, equal, paired relationships, not relationship for the sake of being paired. And I will leave that. And like I said, that was for everybody. Does this mean if it'll work out, if it can work out, if issues are not swept under the rug? I think if you're both willing, then yeah, I do feel like there is a good chance. Now, humans have free will. So what I talk to people, even in private sessions, is about potential outcomes, not guarantees, okay? So I'm not going to say to you, yes, I guarantee that it's going to work out, because you have free will, he has free will, other people around you that may have, an impact on what's going on in your relationship. So there's a lot of variables, but what I see as a potential outcome is if you two can come to each other in a more honest way and not sweep things under the rug, I think you have the possibilities. I think you have the potential to make it work. I can't answer that last question. Is he willing to work on it? I can't go into another person's energy without their permission. So that's ethical lines that I have. If he is willing to come to the table or to come to the video, we can definitely ask that question. But I think that's a question that you need to ask, is he willing to work on it? But I think if you're both willing to come to the table, I think there's a high probability that you can make it work out. Susan says, no surprise she got the jumper card. She's full of laughter and love. Sending bunches of love. I am sending bunches of love right back to you, my dear, dear friend. I love when you show up. It makes my day. It makes my whole day when you pop up in any capacity. And I'm wishing you all a very happy, wonderful, light-filled Hanukkah. So we're going to pull one more card as the kind of close the circle for this time together. And so just as a reminder, we will not be having meditation on Thursday. Look for me on TikTok in the beginning of the new year. probably just on, Mondays once a week, just to start, to see how it goes. And then we'll start looking at setting up some Zoom things, things like that. I am on YouTube, yes. So these videos are posted on YouTube right after we're done. They will be posted on YouTube. So yes, I do have a YouTube channel. You can follow me on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. I am no longer on Twitter. And I am on TikTok. I haven't done anything yet, so I think it might still say username. It may not have my name yet on TikTok. So actions do speak louder than words. Michelle gives wise advice. Michelle, did you ask for a card? Did I miss you, Michelle? Did you ask me for a card? Did I miss you? I'm so sorry. Yes, you did. You asked for a card. Okay, so let me not skip out on Michelle. I'm so glad you spoke up. Okay, so all right. Well, let's not cut Michelle short. That's not a very nice Christmas present, now is it? All right. So Michelle, this is Soul Family. It comes up again, Soul Family, which we saw about letting people in and about letting people be part of what's going on with you, and that it's the family we choose. Allowing people to be more part of your journey. So you're going in the right direction. But now we want to let people in. We're driving the bus, but now we want to open the doors. And we want to let people come in and help to, turn the wheels on the bus and to help pay for the gas and to allow people to share in the joy of the journey. So Michelle, for you, let the other people come on in, okay? Because it's always more fun when we go together. All right, so we're going to pull one card for the collective, and this is Get Grounded. This card is Get Grounded. So this is empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. And so this is just a reminder before we close about taking the opportunity to take a walk, get out in nature, touch the trees, put your feet on the grass. Oh, Ruth Andrew, blocking. Bye, banned from page. We have no tolerance for spammers. So this is a reminder to allow yourself, if the ground is not frozen and you're not going to get frostbite by doing it, just go take a walk. Get out in nature. And you can wear shoes. You don't have to be barefoot. It's okay. Just create space for yourself as we move through this time, which is going to be full of energy with the solstice, with Hanukkah, with retrograde, with the holidays. A lot of gathering, a lot of deadlines coming into the end of the year, a lot of stuff. And so I would like to try and pop on for solstice, but I'm not sure because there's a lot going on here too. So right now I'm thinking I'm going to try and pop on for solstice, but if not, then this will be our last time together for the year. And I will be so looking forward to seeing you all in the new year in 2023. And if you remember what we talked about last week, I want to leave you with this. In 2023, it's all about me, right? And when I say me, I don't mean me. I mean for you to say that about you. It's all about, right? It's all about me. What are you going to create? What do you want to cultivate? How do you want to connect? What are you learning? These are the 4 questions I want you to really consider as we're moving into the 2023 year. 2023 should be all about me, like you, self-care, self-development, self-focus, not arrogance, not ignoring everybody else, but putting some allowance for ourselves, right? So what do we want to create? What are we cultivating in ourselves, habits or, skills? How do we want to connect with others? My cat is having a field day with the blinds in the background. And what do we want to learn? What do you want to learn in the new year? Do you want to learn to cook? Do you want to learn patience? It's ongoing. Do you want to, what do you want to learn? But when we can feed our souls, we can really shift how we show up in the world, right? And you saw that today in the collective reading with so many cards coming up with, you're on the right track, you're moving in the right direction, share your light, let others share your light too, let other people in. How do we want to show up in the world? I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for an incredible year of being part of of having you be part of our community of light, of me being allowed to be part of your community. I want to thank you so much. It has been an incredible year, and I am so honored to spend time with you on Mondays. And I wish you all a happy Hanukkah, a smooth retrograde, a beautiful solstice, a meaningful Christmas, and a happy, healthy New Year. Mwah.